today's been really tough. This is my bench right here. Gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
This is Mike Black, the millionaire who went homeless, with the goal to make $1 million from nothing in only 12 months, while documenting the entire journey online for everyone to see.
I'm cutting off my entire network. I'm draining my bank account to $0. I'm leaving behind my 7-figure business, putting all my belongings in storage, and I won't even have a place to live.
This is the $1 Million Comeback.
Did you know the project is gonna be like this?
No, everything was a curveball. This is my one pair of clothes that I'm taking with me. I have a cell phone and I have a backpack with camera gear. The keys are officially turned in. The project has started. Now I gotta figure out what the f to do.
What Mike didn't know at the time was that this was going to be the toughest year of his life. But why did he decide to do it?
I'm gonna try to panhandle and make a couple bucks. I'm not worried about food at all. I can go a couple days without eating. Hey, how are you? I was wondering, do you have any like water cups by any chance? Finally, someone nice enough to give me some water.
See, it was the beginning of 2020 and countless people had lost everything. And he wanted to be a living example that you can make a comeback even at your lowest point. But could he really reach $1 million in 12 months again?
Everything I tried didn't work. I did have someone message me on Craigslist that said they'll give me $100 if I let them. I started thinking like, I'm gonna be sleeping on the streets a lot longer than I thought. I don't know if I can do this. All right, so it's 11 o'clock. Didn't make any money. My bench right here that I'm gonna be sleeping on tonight, so.
But there was no going back now. He had publicly committed all over social media, hired an entire production team, and this was about something bigger than just himself.
The goal of the project was to help as many people as possible.
So giving up was never an option. But things took a turn.
Something amazing happened. Out of nowhere, like this kid hit me up and said like, hey man, you can crash here. Offered to drive 30 minutes to pick me up. I'm just really emotional how nice of an act this was. I promise you I will repay you for all of this.
Okay, thank you. I mean, you don't have to, but...
Just thank you so much.
Of course.
This is the RV that I slept in last night.
Now this was a short window of opportunity to get back on his feet.
I still have one pair of clothes. Look how gross this is. Now I get to put these boxers back on.
So he had to make some money, but this time he had a plan.
What I started doing is just taking ads on Craigslist in the free section, putting it on Facebook Marketplace, and selling it for a profit. I acted as the middleman, handling all the logistics between the buyer and the seller.
And it worked.
I just sold my first couch for $100.
Although this was literally only 0.01% towards the final goal, with that he was finally able to buy some clothes, some decent food after not eating for days, and most importantly, deodorant.
It's alright.
On day 3, he made a whopping $250 flipping more couches.
Hey Mike, what do you got there? That's a nice computer.
Yeah, that's just a brand new used Chromebook. I'm gonna take that.
Oh, it's just not working.
But Mike had to figure out how to get his own place, because Isaac, the guy who helped him on day 1 and now lived with in the RV, still had no idea about the project and who Mike really was, because he was going undercover as Scott, so he wouldn't get any extra help. If Isaac found out, Mike would have to cut off contact, which is one of the many rules he set up for the project, and then he'd be back on the streets again. So he had to get more Benjamins into his bank account.
I applied to 10 different jobs in one night, and the next day I woke up and I had 3 interviews.
So he spent the last $40 he had to join a co-working space where he could use much better computers and start trading time for money. Even if that means working as a telemarketer for only $10 an hour.
$25 an hour working for a law firm as a virtual assistant. So I went over to Isaac and I was like, hey, would you be cool with lending me your car and I'll do food delivery. I'll give you the majority of everything I make.
Best delivery driver ever.
You heard it.
Dude, I could flip this bike, by the way. It sells for like $300, $400.
Flipping.
Just left the thrift store, got all these shirts. You looking for a sugar daddy, hit me up. $220.
But still, with all this work, he was barely getting by.
For the first time, my bank actually overdrew. I was not expecting this to take this long for me to get out of this situation.
Until things got even worse.
We didn't put this in the footage, but the RV had gotten a cockroach infestation. It was really bad. Imagine trying to sleep in a place where there's cockroaches everywhere. You imagine them crawling on you. Well, one night, I looked at my arm, there's a cockroach, just swiped it off, and I sat up. I'm done. I will not live here another week.
He just had to get one client for some service that would pay him a few grand.
I literally just spent all weekend. I sent so many sales proposals.
until he finally got someone to pay him for monthly marketing services.
$1,500. Dopamine just blasting through my head. I have money now.
So he was able to move out of the RV into a small shared room. And to come full circle, now he could finally repay Isaac by helping him sell the RV for $2,000 more than he expected.
I bought a MacBook for him as a thank you present, paid for by my business. I was going to pay for 2 flights to Germany because he really wanted to go to Germany. Just thank him for everything. And then he just stopped responding to my texts.
Who knows, maybe he reaches out now if he sees the video.
I want those Germany tickets.
But in order to eventually reach the $1 million milestone, he had to build a real business. Ideally a scalable one, like an e-commerce company.
I am at the farmer's market here. I'm looking for people that are selling product that I can maybe partner with and sell online.
And after making some connections with a manufacturer and looking at trends, he decided on a very specific niche, a coffee brand for dog lovers that donates a percentage of profits to saving dogs. But what got in the way was the fact that he had to document everything.
I was spending it 40 to 60 hours a week on production and marketing and running the production team alone while I was homeless in the beginning of the project. I remember being in meetings with the guys and I'd be like, I haven't eaten today. I don't have money to get back to the RV park. I got to get out of this meeting and you guys have to figure it out because if I don't flip a couch today, I have to sleep at the office.
We need to shoot quick overview. We need to shoot how to. Our animator overseas just quit.
You're spending 25 grand a month on production?
$25,000 burned per month on producing the project and marketing it.
Paying for it out of his own pockets.
I only spent 1 hour on my business. This has been a consistent theme. I'm not gonna be able to build $1 million business like that.
How much money have you made so far?
It's underwhelming.
You're making less than minimum wage. You feel like a failure.
I can't be working all these hours. I need to build my business.
Do you feel the pressure of having people look at you, of potentially failing in public? Does that keep you up at night?
I'm so tired. I just got word the client decided to, I guess, fire us.
He had to get really strategic with his time and money. Either cut expenses to invest more into launching the e-commerce business, or invest money to save more time. For example, by hiring freelancers.
So I'm still working on the homepage, sir.
Jay, you logged 2.5 hours. You said you're gonna log a full day today, dude. We need to get this site up. Oh, God, I've never gotten that pissed. It's starting to get to the point where I'm like, am I in over my head, being able to hit this goal? I don't feel like I'm far enough.
But out of desperation, Mike came up with a brilliant idea. They would not just cut his biggest expense, but might actually make him money.
I am finding a location. Let's say it's $4,000 a month to rent. I'm gonna rent out 4 of the bedrooms for $1,000 a month, so it pays for the place, and then that 5th bedroom I would get for free. That is what I call rent hacking. This is a 4-story place. This is gonna be my room, walk-in closet here. This would be my bathroom. I'd be going from RV park to this. 3 months. Made this like a podcast room or something. Wow, this place is big.
He makes it valuable by setting up this house specifically for like-minded business owners. And because his fake identity, Scott, doesn't have a good credit score, he just found someone to co-sign it.
What do you think is like a fair percentage of profit to do for you doing like the credit partner stuff? All right, I got the official lease. How cool is it that I went from living in an RV to this place, rent-free, plus I would make money.
And also, the coffee brand was finally ready to launch.
Oh, we're in business. We got coffee, baby. We got our first coffee order ever. This time, 4 months ago, guys, I was thinking about sleeping on a bench. If you're like, I hate my job, I fucking can't stand my fucking job, quit. Save up some money, downsize, quit. Figure out what you want to do.
And with roughly 9 months left, maybe it was still possible to reach the $1 million milestone.
There's a lot of people that have built a company in 9 months, have gotten it to $1 million. I'm healthy, my family's healthy, that's all that matters. On Tuesday, I learned that my dad was officially diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Yeah, they said it's in my lungs, my liver.
My dad is the single most important person to me in my life.
The typical survival rate for that is 14%. What I was told was like 12 to 18 months.
Believe it or not, yes, it could be better, but it'll also be much worse. To me, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'll fight, Michael. The fight begins. Don't get upset.
And here we see where Mike got his unwavering optimism. From his dad. He gets a terminal diagnosis and still considers himself to be the luckiest man in the world. After months of struggling, overcoming homelessness, working 100-hour weeks to run an entire production team, and trying to make $1 million at the same time, now this happened. This was real life now. Mike had a decision to make. Continue the project or quit.
Some things are gonna change because I'm gonna be moving home to spend time with my dad. We're gonna figure it out, you know? This is what happens in life.
It was like life was testing Mike, whether you could actually be a leader, live by the message of the project, and overcome this adversity.
You get dealt cards, you have to play the hand that you're dealt.
His dad wanted him to continue because now this was actually about more than just making $1 million. It was about living by the values his dad taught him, making the best out of every situation, even in times of struggle, and it lit a fire inside of him.
And I wrote it down. I wanted 20,000 DMs, people reaching out saying, you impacted my life in a positive way. That's all I wanted.
So could he still reach the $1 million goal now that things got even more challenging?
And I want to make that very, very clear. Like, I don't think I was going to hit it.
But they had a pretty good plan. Coffee is one of these consumables that people buy again and again if they love your brand. So setting up a monthly subscription would be a game changer. And if they could acquire new customers to try out their products, they might become long-term repeat buyers.
Smile, dance. We put up our first TikTok, and TikTok went semi-viral. Almost 3,200 followers.
Holy shit.
What?
I think we got our first coffee club subscription.
While I was driving, Etsy order, $34,221. Our ad account got disabled. This is what I do when I'm angry. So I made a list of things I'm grateful for. The first is Mark Zuckerberg. I'm grateful for big tech. So now I feel better.
Things now started moving faster, but that also created more problems. Mike was still juggling way too many things, spending only 5 hours a week on the e-commerce company, trying to squeeze in family time, making content to document the $1 million comeback, and researching cancer to help his dad. So far, he had spent $250,000 on producing the project, and the channel still hadn't taken off. His goal to impact 20,000 people seemed impossible, with only a few hundred views per video.
So that was like a layer of stress. Kept having to get the team pumped up. Like, guys, we'll get these views eventually.
Until his own health started declining as well.
Throughout the entire project, we haven't shared it with you, but I've been in and out of the doctor's office. I actually have 2 autoimmune diseases. Even started developing a tumor on my hip. It's gotten to the point where I'm in pain every single day.
Health, wealth, relationships, everything in my life is at the lowest point.
I want to talk about the project real quick. I don't know if I should keep doing it. I really should be helping out my dad with his business. My dad leaves the business is totally done.
Should he end the project now? He was still far from hitting the $1 million goal and having a big impact. But then he got a message from a stranger that changed everything.
There was a guy towards the end of the project. He reached out. I need to get on a call with you. Gets on the call and he literally just starts crying. And he's like, dude, I was going to kill myself. I came across your content. It just gave me hope. That was the best feeling I've ever felt in my entire life.
If he ended it now with only $65,000 made and one person he deeply impacted, would the project be a failure or a success?
I wanted to help people that were struggling get back on their feet and prove that it could be done. A lot of things about this situation suck, but I'm in control of how I see things.
Throughout all of this, no matter how hard life hit him, he made the best of everything and lived by the message he truly believed. That's what true leaders do. So he decided to end the project early to focus on fixing his own health and spending more time with his dad.
And now he's doing a lot better and things are going really, really well.
And who knows, maybe now, with this video, Mike is able to impact 20,000 people.